Mass Effect walkthrough. This is the second video of how to locate Liara. So we just opened up the first barricade, and I don't think there's many more inside of this world. Yeah, there might be one or two more, I don't think so though. And next we're going to be continuing on with the Mako through the somewhat tedious process of making it to the underground mine where Liara actually will be, and I think we're going to end the video inside of that mine. So there's going to be probably the first actual combat challenge in this video, and after that there's another one right after Liara that I thought at least was a challenge the first time I had to do it, and then it's going to be pretty smooth sailing from there for a while. I think I go to Novaria after this planet, and Novaria has a lot of hilarious memories with me, which I will gladly talk about when those videos come. So we're going to be sniping the ever-living heck out of these Colossus, and you'll just look for their lights, those blue balls, I think they're blue anyway, that they shoot at you. Just make sure that you don't get hit by them, so if you constantly go back and forth while they're shooting you, they will not be able to hit you. If you get closer to them, they do have automatic guns that can damage you, and your health, I don't think I mentioned this much before, but the health in the Mako is to the left of that little wrench with the 46 beneath it. And to this day, I never bothered to look this up. I don't actually know what the 46 means. That number changes. I don't know if that's like healing effectiveness or whatever, but the white bars to the left of that are behind the vehicle is your health, and it will automatically repair itself over time as long as you're not taking damage. So it's just sort of something that as long as you're not taking a whole lot of damage, you don't have to worry too much about dying in the Mako. It's pretty hard to die as long as you're moving back and forth and just not standing in stupid things. So that was an armature, a Geth armature, and that was one of the white ones I mentioned in the previous video. That's, I think, the largest Geth enemy we're going to run into in Mass Effect 1, and they are also the hardest to defeat, but not so for the Mako. Now we're going to come up to this cave. Is this even a cave? Some kind of man-made tunnel? And we're going to slowly go through, make sure we quick save all the time, pay attention to our mini-map so we can get a warning of when there's enemies ahead. And the only reason I'm kind of going cautiously is because it has been some time since I beat this game, so I kind of forgot where the enemies are. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not losing too much time by dying to stuff I don't need to. And it's not a bad idea to scan some of the area that you are in when you're in the Mako, just to see if you can locate any turrets or Geth that are far away. Sometimes you'll see those rockets slowly moving to you, and that will let you know where a bunch of enemies are, which is kind of funny. These Geth aren't too smart. You'd think they would find other ways of attacking you if they actually wanted to kill you. And then it's just going to be a lot more of these open roads that we're going to follow to the other structure on the other side here. And there's going to be a few enemies inside of this place, but not too big of a deal. They are just rocket troopers who die in one shot to the rocket from the Mako. And one of the reasons you will see me erratically quick-saving, especially in Mass Effect 1, is just because the autosaves are far and few between, and this game is very punishing if you don't manually save yourself. Just be patient, let the rockets pass by you, and then continue on once all the enemies are dead. We're going to notice in my mini-map now there's a little symbol for a doorway, and that means we're getting pretty close. We're also going to get jammed, because that's what happens when you're near certain Geth. And we're going to save here and then start walking up this mountainside. So I'm a pistol and shotgunner. I'm going to be using pistols and shotguns. I really wish I had used pistols before. They are really dang good. Like, they hardly overheat, and they're super strong, and they're really accurate. So I don't really know why I never gave them a shot before. So some rocket troopers are going to spawn up there, and they're also going to drop shields. You can wait for Geth to usually stupidly walk around the shield before you hit them, or you can destroy the shield just by shooting it. And the rocket troopers, or pretty much anything that has rockets while you're on foot, is probably going to be the deadliest enemies you're going to run into, because those rockets will often kill you in one hit, and if they don't kill you in one hit, they're going to hurt really badly. And they will almost always kill your companions in one hit. But this early on, none of the enemies are too much of a worry yet, and there's going to be more snipers. So this was one part where I was really missing having a sniper, because I've always played through this game with snipers instead. And it's just that there's that sniper way on top there that has a laser, and by some miracle I actually killed him there. So as I said, these pistols are just super accurate. I don't think I would have done that on a assault rifle. But if you can just kind of see where they are, I don't know how well it turns up in the video, but when you're playing on your nice crisp screen, if you can just kind of see where they're at, there's pretty much no damage fall off in this game. You can shoot enemies from anywhere and they will take, I believe, full damage in this one. And I don't think there's any kind of penalty for not shooting them up close. Unless, of course, you have like a shotgun, but that's more due to scatter. I think all the bullet damage from shotguns is still maxed out. So that was a little bit hectic of an area. I think there's another sniper right up here. The snipers are also pretty deadly, but because of their big giant beam, they give you a lot of warning that they're about to shoot you. And that beam does not mean that that's where they're shooting. That beam just means that they aimed where you were at one point, and then they can shoot you again. They will adjust and shoot you again, even if you move from the beam. So the best part to do, or the best thing to do with snipers, is just to hide and let the beam disappear. That'll mean their shot has gone away, and then you can kill them, because they're usually pretty weak when they're not shooting at you. Okay, so coming up somewhat soon is going to be probably the first real combat challenge. We're going to have to fight a Geth armature ourselves, along with a whole bunch of the weird spider Geth that like jump and move around they cling to the walls. They're like Spider-Man, I guess. A Spider-Man Geth. We're gonna have to fight a bunch of those ones, and we don't really get a fair fight, because there's a cutscene, and then immediately after the cutscene the shooting starts, and you don't really get any time to prepare. So if you don't have full health, I would probably push the key that uses your metagel and get full health, and then just get ready for this. Also, this was back in a time when a lot of cutscenes were unskippable, which means if you die here, you're gonna have to watch this cutscene over and over. They may have fixed this in the Legendary Edition, but at least on the original one, you have to watch this cutscene over and over if you die here. And that's probably the worst part for dying at challenging parts in older games, is that they don't let you skip cutscenes. Kind of like Kingdom Hearts 1, you know. How many people can share my pain with that, right? So that might not be an armature, that might just be a Colossus. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is immediately run to the left box. I got kind of lucky there, didn't take any damage, and then we're just going to wipe out as many of these marching Geth as we can. So the shock troopers are going to approach you, and this one is somehow not dead. And this is going to be one of the few times that I actually use cover, I think. I may not even use it that much. And we're going to try not to die to those weird jumping Geth. And then there's going to be these snipers, and snipers don't usually approach you, so you don't really have to worry about them charging you, which means you're going to want to take out these ghosts. Is that what they're called? Cool. The Geth ghosts, and then take out the snipers before you focus on the Colossus. And just make sure that you are never out of cover when that Colossus shoots its big electro ball, because that will instantly kill you. And then use all your power-ups, and if you had enough points to put them into Spectre training, you would be able to resurrect your teammates, but I don't get that ability for quite a while. So Garrus is just going to lay there dead, and eventually when your companions die, whether or not you resurrect them and whether or not you're in combat, they will resurrect themselves after a while, but they will have lower health and they usually just immediately die. So as I've said before, the companions in this game mostly serve as distractions, not really useful allies. And then we're just going to chip away this armor. Oh, it is an armature. I thought maybe it doesn't look white because of the lighting? I don't know, whatever. We're just going to chip away this armature until it dies. And once that's over with, hopefully we killed everything else. We'll be able to save once Garrus gets up. And that is quite a relief off of my shoulders, because I died here many, many times the first time that I played this game on the hardest difficulty. Then we're going to come into this mining structure to our right, or right now right in front of us, and this is where we're going to find Liara. So there's a little bit of fighting in here. For the most part, it's pretty straightforward though, and I think it's mostly just a lot of walking and then an elevator and some minor fighting. So there's not a whole lot else for me to commentate in this video, which means I will see you in the next one.
Shepard. I think we're good, Shepard.
It looks like this cavern formed around the road after it was built.